I'm joined by the boss of McAfee, one of the biggest data protection companies around. Dave DeWalt, thank you very much for joining us, and thanks for coming here to our studio on the mountaintop. This is quite an interesting thing. McAfee has released a report here in Davos talking about a new Cold War, a cyber war. How worried should we be about this?
Well, we've really seen an escalating environment the last 12, 18 months. The internet has grown so quick, so fast. We see now, tens of billions of internet addressable elements, devices coming online. And it's really created a lot of vulnerabilities. And these vulnerabilities are starting to get exploited. We've seen some of the recent news of the Google attack and other high-tech companies being targeted. We're starting to see a new era. The research report we put out really shows that it's not as safe of a place as it once was, and it's becoming much more escalated in the war, terrorism, and really criminal activity online.
So are we talking about information online, about like how to make explosive devices, or are we talking about actually being able to hack into computer systems, or both?
It's everything. I mean, today's day and age on the internet, we store everything online. I mean, information about our own patient information, our own healthcare information, to really important information like intellectual property about defense or about other types of source code that might be in the world for software.
Indeed. You mentioned briefly Google and what happened in China. Is that something that you are seeing more of? People being able to hack into accounts, and governments in this case being able to hack into individual accounts?
Oh yeah, I mean, we're seeing a lot more of this. In the last 12 months, we saw 3 or 4 major attacks on networks, on government systems. Maybe some of them heard about Configure, which was tens of millions of machines infected in the consumer world. And then we had data loss with the Joint Strike Fighter in the United States. We've had a number of very large breaches, yes.
Now, I guess you would say this, but do you think that companies, particularly in times of recession, and indeed governments, are a little bit behind the curve? They're not actually doing enough to protect themselves.
Yeah, and that's what's happened. It's almost been a perfect storm. The recession has actually driven down IT spending while the security threat landscape increased. And it's created a scenario where critical infrastructure, government networks, and even consumers aren't very well protected. So this is a scenario now where the criminals, the terrorists, and even now with countries, almost 20 countries being armed for warfare, it's a very vulnerable state. And it creates a condition that allows this type of activity to keep occurring.
So those are the people that we're talking about, sort of terrorists and criminals and I guess industrial espionage. What can be done about it?
Well, we need to come together. I mean, today there's a lot of technology that does exist. It's just not implemented very well. And the economy has created that a little bit. But we haven't really come together as a world community either. I mean, think about how the internet is governed. It's grown so quickly. We don't have policy governing the world internet. So it continues to expand. Governments, private, public, come together is really important. Share best practices, work together on a better way to manage the growth of the internet securely.
Dave DeWalt, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks for having me.